Mole de olla translates to mole from a pot. One of the most traditional dishes of Mexico is mole. In its most basic form, it starts out with dried chilies, such as chile guajillo, chile ancho, and chiles de árbol. It has many other different ingredients and it varies from region to region. One of my favorite recipes is my mom's recipe from the state of Guanajuato. But it is so rigorous, so I wanted to introduce you guys to a much more simpler recipe you can make at home. Mole de olla, mole from one pot. What I have going on here is all of my chilies have been deveined. I took out all of the seeds and now I'm just gonna start boiling these to rehydrate them. The chile guajillo I've used just to create the rich flavor, but it doesn't have a lot of kick. So I used some of these chiles de árbol to add the special kick to it. And then also the chile ancho I've used in order to create the smoky flavor that's in traditional mole. Some of these seeds that you have here you can actually use later on. Top it on your pizza or anything you want. So now let's go ahead and throw these in the boiling water to rehydrate them. So I just turned off my chilies. They're being rehydrated. It smells amazing in here already. I also chopped off my vegetables, my corn, my green beans, onions, my carrots, potatoes, and of course my chayotes. I can't forget that. You could also add some joconoices, but I'm omitting those today just because I couldn't find them. All right. What I want to also do though is I want to make sure that we have some rice to eat with this mole, so I'm going to get that going first. That way it's completely done by the time that the mole is done. I want it to be really fluffy, so I'm going to go ahead and wash it and then get that going and just let it stay there for about 25 minutes. So I'm using about 1.5 cups of rice. It's about enough for 4 people. So I'm gonna put about 2 teaspoons of salt into the rice. Also some roughly chopped onion. Just a small onion is fine. And it's just for flavor, so it doesn't matter how big or small it is. And also 2 cloves of garlic. And lastly, some very delicious, just a pinch of saffron. Just gonna mix that in really quick. Once that gets to a boil, we're gonna go ahead and put a lid back on and put it on really, really low heat. Cook for about 15 minutes. And then after that, it's just gonna turn off the heat and we'll just let it settle. Do not open the lid back up. So now that I have my rice boiling, I'm actually gonna switch it over here, just really quick. To do this. And now we can go ahead and cover. Just let it stay there for about 15 minutes. Turn on the heat just really low until all the water has evaporated. And then after that, turn the heat off and just leave the cover on. So now I'm gonna get the chili strained, and I wanna save up pretty much all of the liquid just to keep all of that flavor for the paste. Wow, that smells amazing. So my rice is going, it's almost done. Now let's get this paste going. I've already started some of the paste here. I'm gonna continue throwing in some of the other peppers, the guajillo, the ancho, the chiles de árbol. And what I've also done is I've saved pretty much some of the liquid so that way we can blend it really nice and smooth, but also just to keep all of that flavor. Throwing in about a tablespoon of salt, 3 garlic, and a teaspoon of whole cumin. I like using whole cumin in this just because the flavor is going to be more rich. Maybe a little more. So now let's finish this off. So let's check on the consistency. It smells so good. Okay, it's almost ready, but I'm gonna get some pepper. And of course, I like adding fresh pepper. And we're gonna add about, let's say, 2 teaspoons. And let's finish it up to get it really nice and smooth. So I blended the paste for about 2 minutes. I just want to check it really quick for flavor. It's just perfect. All right, so now let's drain it. That way we can get all of the skins out. So what you want to do is just strain it, just push on it, and you're gonna get the paste just coming all the way down. So see, all that's left is just the skins of the chili, which we don't want in the paste. And quite honestly, you can use this paste for many other things. I like to use it on enchiladas as well. So this is the consistency you're looking for. See how smooth that is? And it's not too thick, which is perfect. And all of the flavors from when you boiled it are just there. So I'm gonna put in some oil. Then we're gonna dump in the paste. And I don't wanna do it when it's hot, because then everything just starts jumping everywhere. All in there. So just stir and stir and stir until everything has been incorporated. Now we're ready to throw in our vegetables. And all we have to do is really easy. Just have to throw everything in there. It doesn't matter how it goes in, as long as everything gets covered. Once the oil incorporates with that paste, the flavor just intensifies even more. And the last thing we're gonna do is just gonna throw in a little bit of water. Let's do about 1.5 cups. That way the sauce is not too runny. Just give it a good mix, just to make sure that the paste is on all of the vegetables. And lastly, I'm I'm gonna throw in just 2 bay leaves. I'm gonna close this up, put it on low heat for about 40 minutes, and I'll be done. So the mole cooked for about 35 minutes. So now we're ready to eat. I wanna make sure to get a little bit of everything in here. So we're gonna start off with the rice, put some on a plate. Don't worry if it's messy, you're gonna eat this. Okay. Can you smell that? Okay, I know you can, but it's so good. All right, and I wanna make sure to include a little bit of everything onto the plate. You know, the corn is gonna add sweetness. The chayote is gonna be just, have a bite, you know? You're gonna be able to just like bite into it like an apple. The carrots are gonna add also sweetness. And those green beans are gonna stay crispy. You know, I can smell every single one of those peppers individually. The smokiness of the ancho, even a little bit of the kick of that chile de árbol, and of course the guajillo, which makes pretty much everything. I'm also adding some garbanzo beans. I love garbanzo beans because, you know, it's a different bean. And also it's gonna add some protein to this plate. Remember, it's vegetarian. I wanna add a little bit of cilantro just to make it look pretty. And what I did earlier was I actually warmed up some tortillas. I like corn tortillas the best just because they're like perfect and subtle and almost sweet at the same time. All right, guys, it's pretty much ready. Now I want to taste everything. It is so good. It reminds me of living in Mexico. All of the flavors just blended in perfectly. I have the kick of the chile de árbol. The ancho chili brought in the smokiness it needed. And everything else is just perfect, sweet. All of the flavors are there. Thank you so much for allowing me to show you how to cook this mole de olla, mole from one pot. It may be vegetarian, but there's absolutely no flavor that's lacking in here. So go on, go cook, so this way you can taste everything that I'm tasting right now. You don't know what you're missing.